Yes, attitudes and habits. These must be positive and encouraging. The attitude of a learner in the classroom or in the learning arena must be positive, okay, and encouraging. The learner should not disturb the class. He should adapt in the environment that helps him in learning the things. Absence of anger and jealousy. These things, these qualities, the anger and jealousy, they weaken learning abilities because all the focus of the learners is on this. They are just jealous of the other peer group, and they are just angry if they are angry at on something, so they will not be able to concentrate on the things effectively. So these things just weaken their learning abilities. Slow beginning followed by gradual development of interest. So this is an important thing in the teaching learning process, that the things should be begin with the simple thing, and from the simple thing we go to the complex thing. And so the beginning is slow beginning, in this classroom also. On the very first day of the class, we have discussed the syllabus. Okay, we just not come on any topic and just start to learn about it. We just come on the syllabus, we discuss the syllabus. So that is referred as a slow beginning. Okay, slow beginning followed by a gradual development of interest. So after that procedure, the learners will able to involve themselves, engage themselves in the activities that is going on. So these are the learners' characteristics. There will be some questions on the keywords here. The keywords are readiness, exercise, effect, attitude and habits, absence of anger and jealousy, slow beginning. So the question that NTA asks is like, which of the learners' characteristics help them positively or negatively? Okay. So any doubt from this slide?
No, ma'am.
Learners' characteristics can be broadly studied under the below mentioned head. We just we just bifurcate the learner characteristic in the following things. Like there would be some personal characteristic, academic characteristic, social and emotional characteristic, and cognitive characteristics. Okay. So in personal characteristics, we will include these relate to the demographics such as the age of the learner is coming from which age group, the gender of the learner, the language which the learner is incomfortable with, okay, cultural background. Okay, so just tell me one thing, you people understand Hindi?
All of us, mom. Some of us do, some of us don't.
Okay. Actually, the instructions was that these classes would be in only the language you can choose is English here. Okay, no bilingual languages there because I think some people do not understand Hindi. Okay, so this thing like the language here is the personal characteristic. Okay, that differ from a learner to another learner. So these are the personal characteristics that are related to the learner, cultural background, etc. concerning a person, and is also a very vital aspect of learner's characteristics. Okay. Like if you are not comfortable in Hindi and I am speaking Hindi in the class, okay, I am choosing the language Hindi. So you will not able to understand the things that I am teaching you, okay. So these are the personal characteristics. Now the academic characteristics. These characteristics are the educational or learning characteristics relating to an individual, group of people, where their prior knowledge. Okay. Like for this class, we consider that the prior knowledge, maybe you are all of you are able to read and write. Okay, so this can turn into your prior knowledge of anything. Like if you are willing to learn, but you are not able to read anything, so learning will not happen. So these will relate to the prior knowledge of the learner, education style, the level of education. Like in order to appear for the net exam, you have to clear your masters. Okay, so this will come into the level of education are also considered. This makes academics to be a determining factor of learning characteristics. So that is why we are including these things in academic characteristics, because they are related to our academics in some way. Okay, and these are the personal characteristics. Now, social and emotional characteristic of a learner, they specify the characteristic related to an individual or group, such as self-image, self-efficacy, cohesiveness, etc. Cognitive, these are cognitive means the intellectual level of a learner. This refers to the mental capabilities of a person, and aspects such as mental procedures, intellectual skills, problem solving techniques, etc. are considered. Okay, so the questions from this can be asked like which of the following are the learner's characteristic? Okay, or which of the following characteristics help the learner, which of the following characteristics does not help the learner? Okay, so this type of question can be asked. Any question from this slide? Okay. So this is written in your syllabus. Like what are the characteristics of a learner? Characteristics of learner that are written in your syllabus are academic characteristic, social characteristic, emotional characteristic, and cognitive characteristics. So these we have discussed in the previous slide. Now we will see that how we can just classify the learners with how we classify the learners with respect to of their ages. Okay, so there are two type of learners. The first is adolescent learner and the second is adult learner. This is written in your syllabus, the syllabus prescribed by the NTA. So in adolescence learner, we put the learners that are between the 13 years to their early 20s. These are the adolescence learner. Adolescence is between childhood and adulthood. There is a phase between childhood and adulthood that we will term as the adolescence things, and the learners in these age are termed as the adolescence learner. So further, there are also the stages of adolescence learner that are the early adolescence, that is from 10 to 13 years. And see, this is not very strict classification like 13 to early 20s. We can include the 12 years also. And if questions there are 11 to 11 to 18, that will also come into adolescence. So this is not very hard and fast rule that only 13 to early 20s. So this thing is flexible. Okay, up to 1-2 years we can adjust this. So early adolescence is 10 to 13 years. Middle adolescence is from 14 to 17 years. And late adolescence means 18 to 20 years and beyond. So these comes into the adolescence learners. Learners' characteristic will be discussed under 5 broad heads, namely intellectual. So if I'm using the word intellectual or the word intellectual is coming in any question, so intellectual means the mental abilities of a learner, the mental capabilities of a learner, how curious the learner is, how like he is curious to learn the things, how up to what extent the learner is motivated to learn the things, to use its critical thinking. So these will all come into the intellectual level. In social, so either we admit it or not, we want some social recognition. We want the praising from from our group, the group in which we are, we want to prove that okay, I have achieved this thing, I have achieved that thing. Okay, so either we agree or not, but somehow it is inside us that we want some recognition. Like we are here for clearing the UGC exam. It is okay that you are going to do PhD and you will be getting some scholarship if you qualify the GRF. That is okay. But why we want to do this? Because we want to somehow prove that okay, we are that much capable that we have cleared this exam, right? So the social recognition will also play an important role in the learner, like in the learner characteristics. Some physical characteristics are there, like the learners of the adolescence age. The learners falling in the adolescence category are physically weak. They are not that much strong because they they are in their adolescence and their body is still in the building phase. Okay, the body is building, they are growing, so they are physically weak. There are much of hormonal changes at this age and they are very vulnerable. Like if you will say some good things to them, they will be happy. If you will say some bad things to them, they will be sad. Okay, so their behavior is somehow affected by the things that are happening around them. So the learners of the adolescence age are very vulnerable. Okay, they are very curious. They are very curious to learn about the things, technology and all other things. They want the recognition. They are physically weak. Hormonal changes are there. They are vulnerable. And the adolescent learners are emotional and psychological. So they are very sensitive. Okay. They are suicidal. It is a report of national survey of something. I'm not recalling the exact name, but I think it is NSSO or something. There is a report that just come out with the data that the out of some 10 or 12 suicides, there are 7 are in the age of adolescence. I'm just not recalling the authority that have conducted this survey, but this was the thing that the rate of suicide is very much high in the adolescence in this period, in the adolescent period. So they are very sensitive, they're suicidal, and there are mood swings. Okay, at instant they are happy, at instant they are sad. So their behavior is highly like they are just unstable. They in behavior perspective they are not very stable. Okay, so any doubt from this slide? Next is adult learner. Adult learners are a diverse group of individuals age 25 and older. Again, this is not a very hard and fast rule that we will only include age 25. We can include from like 21 to 22 and up to so on. Okay, so this age group comes into the adult learners with a diverse range of cultural and educational backgrounds. In the class itself, you all have a diverse range of educational background as well as cultural background. Many of you are coming from the engineering background. Okay, many of you are from the humanities background. Many of you are from the science background. Okay, so here also, and I am just putting you all in the adult learner. We will see why. So in adult learner, there is a diverse range of cultural and educational backgrounds, adult responsibilities, and also the job experiences. You can easily relate to these things, okay, because you all have experienced these things. Like in the very first class where I have taken the introduction of you guys, you have told me that some of you are working like for 14 years, okay? So you all are here with the culture and the educational background, your responsibilities and the job experiences. So what are the characteristics of an adult learner? they are goal oriented. So if they are learning or before starting the learning, they have their some uh, particular goal in their mind that they want to achieve. They want some outcomes from their learning. Okay, they are voluntary. Like for kids, there is also continuously their mother is telling them, father is telling that you have to study hard, you have to achieve this, you have to achieve that, you have to come first in the class, you have to become good in your sports. Okay, so there is also some there is always someone triggering them. Okay, they need some like there is always someone poking them to encouraging them. But the adult learners, they are learning on their own. Now your mother or father is not telling you that just better go and study, go and this. Okay, you are motivated enough to learn on yourself. So this is the voluntary nature of the adult learner. They are future oriented. Like if you are here in the class, there must be something in your future that what you are going to do with this, what you are going to do after clearing your net or JRF examination. Okay, so the adult learners are always future oriented, and they are motivated, and they are self motivated. No external motivation is needed, right? Any doubt from this slide?
No, ma'am.
Now, adult learners, we will just, this is a flow chart type thing. Okay, we just summarize all the things that are the part of the adult learner thing. First is need, but they need problem centered learning. If there are adult learner, okay, so and if they are willing to learn something, so they know that why they need to learn this. You all are here, you all are adult learners, so now you know very well that why you need to learn the things that are being taught in the class. Okay, so there is no need of anyone telling you that you have to study this because you have to do this. Okay, so that is inbuilt in you itself. Here, the adult learner take problem-centered learning because before they start learning, they have some problem in their mind and they want to just solve that thing. Okay. Adult learners are motivated by subject relevant to them. Okay, they just learn the things that are going to help them in the future. Please mute the mic. I think the mic of someone is open. If you want to speak something, then it's okay. You can speak. Okay. So the adult law, like you have there are many examples that while working, there are some students who have done their MBA. Okay. So like they know that what to study and why to study. They know this thing very well. So adult learners are most motivated by subject relevant to them. Adult learner bring experience spaces for learning, including mistakes. So adult learner come with some experience that help them in learning. Okay. And the adult learner need to be involved in planning instruction, in planning evaluation. See, evaluation is a thing that is used to evaluate the learners, to take the feedback. But the adult learners are that much involved in the learning that yes, there is evaluation of the learners, but without the evaluation, they also know that where they stand, right? So they are also an integral part of in planning education. Adult learners play an important role, and the adult learners are motivated by the subject relevant to them that helps the adult learner in employment or in life. So you are here, whether you want employment in this field or yoga is helping you some way in your life. Okay, so this is all about the adult learner. Any questions? No questions? What I assume here that either you are understanding everything or you are understanding nothing. Okay, so I will go with the first option. So this is all the summary of the adult and adolescent learner that we have discussed here. So by this table itself, you will be able to solve ample of questions. Now here I have just three things are there. First is element. First category is element. Second is adolescence learner, and the third is adult learner. First category is learner. So the adolescence learner are dependent on the teacher for learning. Okay. So if they want to learn something, they are dependent on their teacher to learn this thing. And the adult learner are self-motivated and self-directed. The adult learner are motivated by themselves. Okay, they don't need not any external motivation. Okay. Next is role of learner experience. The learner has little experience because they are just of the age group of 13 to 18 or the early 20s. So they have just a little experience or no experience. The experience of the instructor of teacher is the most influential. They are influenced by the experience of the teacher. The learners have a tremendous amount of life experience. I think you all can relate to these the points that I am telling you in the adult learners, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes.
motivation for learning. They are primarily motivated by external rewards and punishment. Okay, I have given you an example like parents tell their children that if you will come first in your class, then I will gift you a bike, okay, or I will gift you a scooty. So these are the reward and punishment. And if you not get good marks in your exam, you will not go to you will not go to play. You will not get this thing. You will not get that thing. Okay, you will not given time to watch television, or you will not given time to visit your friends. So these are the rewards and punishment thing that helps the adolescents learner. These things help them as a motivation thing. Okay, they are just highly motivated by this rewards. This is very common in the adolescents group. Like they are telling their friends that okay, my father has told me that if I have just this position in the class, they are going to gift me this and that. So this is very popular among the adolescents learner. Reward and punishment thing. There is a competition for grades and consequences for failures. Okay, they compete very well. They are just competing with each other, and there are also some consequences related to failure. Like they are not able to get into the new class. They are not able to just get along with the friends and things like that. Here, the motivation by internal incentives. Here, the incentives are different. Here, the rewards are different. The rewards are the recognition, better quality of life, self confidence. Okay. Here, this thing is very important. Better quality of life. Learning activities. Passive teaching methods like assigned reading are used. Here, the learners are passive. Active training methods are used, in which the learners are involved, engaged very actively in the learning process. Pace of learning. Teacher control timing and pace of learning. Learners influence timing and pace of learning. Like if this class is happening at 8 a.m. in the morning. So you have voted for this class, right? You have voted the maximum votes were in the favor of the class from 8 a.m. That is why the class is happening at 8 a.m. So the timing of this class is influenced by you. So in the category of adult learners, the learner influence the timing and pace of learning. Here, the evaluation is done by the teacher, and in adult learners, by learners collected evidence validated by peers, facilitators, and experts. So this is all about the adolescent learner and adult learner. This slide will help you to get the difference between the adolescent learner and the adult learners, or the things that are common between them. Okay. So any doubt from this slide? So these are the questions. Any doubt up till now? Okay. So first question is, all teaching should aim at ensuring learning, and the reasoning is all learning results from teaching.
Ma'am,
Yes.
C. Options.
Which option?
B, ma'am.
C.
Okay.
ma'am, it is C because all learning does not result from teaching. There are certain aspects which we learn on our own.
Yes. All learnings do not come from teaching. Okay. You can learn by your experiences also. Okay. You can learn from other experience also. So all learning does not come from teaching, but all teaching should aim at ensuring learning. I have told this line in the class, I think multiple times, right? Before the beginning of the class, during the class, I have told this line many times that there is no teaching without learning. The first assertion is absolutely correct, and the second is not. So the correct option is C. A is correct, but R is incorrect. Now, academic performance of student. Here, academic performance. Okay. Now solve this question.
Is it one,
First
ma'am?
option.
One.
A and B.
A and B.
Yes, ma'am. It's intelligence and motivation.
Yes, very good. Because physique and gender is nothing to do with physique and gender in the academic performance, right? Consider the following characteristic of a good learner. Which of the characteristics will come to a good learner?
All of the above.
All of the above, ma'am.
Very good. All of the
Yes, ma'am.
above
All
is
of the
the
above.
correct answer. Very good. Now moving to next question. Which of the following learner's characteristic must be appreciated by the teacher?
Two, ma'am.
Answer everyone.
Is it two?
Let the others answers come.
2, ma'am.
Yes,
Here,
ma'am. Submissive behavior is not.
yes, yes. Here it is written that submissive behavior. Submissive is like the teacher is telling you something and you are just blindly agreeing with him either it is correct or it is not correct. Okay. So submissive behavior should not be appreciated by the teacher. All the other things are correct. Attitude of inquiry, reflection, critical thinking, prior experience, and motivation. So the here the correct answer is eliminate this thing, eliminate 4. So 4, 4, 4. So the correct answer will be 2. Okay. Next. Assertion is student learning depend on the quality of teaching to a great extent. Student learning depend on the quality of teaching to a great extent. Reason is successful teachers know that the student pay attention to what they teach.
Option A.
I feel it's A, ma'am.
Why the other students are not asking answering? Speak in the class, no? Yeah, here the answer is A. Student learning depend on the quality of teaching to a great extent because successful teachers know that the student pay attention to what they teach. Okay. So there is a trick like in assertion and reason type questions. Assertion is there, reason is there. Just add because in front of reason. See, this works like 50% this trick works. Just add because in front of the reason and see if the sentence is going. If it is going, then both the sentences are correct and the reason is the right explanation of assertion. Students' learning depends on the quality of teaching to a great extent because successful teachers know that the students pay attention to what they teach. The thing because is going with the reason. Here both A and R are correct and R is the right explanation of A. Now next question. Solve this question. Learning assertion is learning is strongly based on the intellectual level, cognitive ability, perception, personality, and attitude of a learner. Reason. Learning can be depicted as the way towards securing new or altering existing information, expertise, esteem, conduct, and inclination.
Option A, ma'am. Both A and R are correct.
Yes, option A is right. Both assertion and reason are correct. Okay.
Okay.
See, these all are the previous year question. And when I ask you guys that have you solved the previous year question, you told me that, ma'am, I haven't found out the questions from teaching aptitude. So these are the questions, no? See
Because
this
we
question.
don't have those right books.
Right books. Okay, and what are the right books?
You referred to some book called R. Sharma or Agarwal or something, I think.
R. Gupta book or the like Madan book is there. Madan book is also very good. The previous year book.
Yeah.
Just don't go for a book that contains model questions. Just go for a book that only contains previous year questions. Because I have seen the books that have model questions. I don't know that how they framed those questions and there is no level of those questions. Okay, in comparison to the NTA UGC. So just refer a previous year book and almost in all the previous year question books the questions of teaching aptitude at one are at one place if 50 if from 15 to 25 questions are of teaching aptitude are on the same number they are just consecutive like 15 to 20 the questions of teaching aptitude are there and like 11 to 15 comprehension is there okay I have seen that thing in books. Okay, now come back. Next question. Which of the following learner characteristics are likely to influence the effectiveness of teaching aids and evaluation system to ensure positive results? Positive results, okay? These are the keywords. If influence the effectiveness of teaching aids.
It's D, ma'am.
It's sorry
D.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. The answer is D. Because family background is nothing to do with teaching aids, okay? Parentage here or social economic backgrounds is nothing to do with the teaching aids. And here also the social background and personal interest, nothing to do with the teaching aids. So the correct answer is D. Identify the learner characteristics which would facilitate teaching learning system to become effective.
First one, ma'am.
First one,
First one.
Yes, ma'am. First.
yes,
Yes.
very good. Because here, again, learner's family lineage is nothing to do with the, like, no, the thing that is enhancing the learning. So this is wrong. Food habits, religious affiliations are also not helping the learners in any way. So here, prior experience of the learner, aptitude of the learner, learner's stage of development. So A, C, D is the right answer. Which of the following learner characteristic is highly related to effectiveness of teaching?
Option A.
A.
Option A.
A. Okay. These questions you can also solve by your previous knowledge or the elimination technique. Like educational status of parents, nothing to do with effectiveness of teaching. Okay. Peer group of learner, family size, nothing to do with that. So prior experience of the learner is the correct answer. Learner-centered approach to teaching and learning focuses on which of the following skills?
A. Learner's needs.
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above. B.
Okay. The correct answer is all of the above. Because in while framing the content for the learner-centered approach, we need to develop the subjects in related to the learners. Development of the skills is also an important thing in learner-centered approach because skill-based learning is uh, given in the learner-centered approach. So the correct answer is all of the above. So just tell me any questions? Just look at the syllabus. We have completed this thing. Learner's characteristic. Learner's characteristics of adolescence and adult learner. Okay, academic, social, emotional, and cognitive. And you have known very well about the individual differences. Okay, because learner to learner, the things differ. The techniques that a learner prefer may not be well acquainted by the other. Okay, so these are the individual differences. We have completed this thing also. We have completed this thing also. Why I'm showing you syllabus again and again? Because what I have told you, if you are studying something, just put the syllabus in front of you. Because we have to clear the exam. We are not doing our research here. We have to clear the exam, and for clearing the exam, we should know very well that what is going to be in exam, what is going to ask in the exam. So we have covered these things. Clear? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So should we end the class, or if you want to ask anything or discuss anything?